Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? We are down by our huge, great big long line of fertilizer, and I love doing that. As I expected, I had an absolutely massive number of suggestions of things that I could do. Quite high on the list of suggestions for things to do was to make the heap bigger, make a longer line, keep the line about the same length, but make it higher, make it a lot higher, and then jump things over it. But not just limited to tractors, try jumping all kinds of machines over it. Soup tractors up to about 1,000 miles an hour and then jump them over it, things like that. All excellent suggestions. I particularly like getting the bulldozer that we used in Garala and changing it round a bit so that the blade can scoop up a lot more, scooping the fertilizer up into a bigger heap, getting a lot more and piling it up here as well, and then souping that bulldozer up so make sure that we can lift the blade up out the way so that we get a good ramp on it, and then increase the stats on the bulldozer so that we can do a full 1,000 miles an hour with the bulldozer. I'm never going to get tired of jumping over this ramp. 1,000 miles an hour with that bulldozer and then go over the ramp. And I've got to say, that is my favourite one. Of all of them, that is my favourite. Now, there were so many suggestions, it was difficult. A lot of people were suggesting just try ploughing it in, see if you can plough it in, see if that makes any difference. One thing I have noticed is that now that I've reloaded the save, anything that we had on the actual field here has now disappeared. Completely vanished. So it would appear that if we do tip it across land that we don't own, bad things will happen to us, including not making a very good ramp on the end. It has cut it off rather abruptly there for the end of where the field is. So that bit aside, most of the rest of it has worked out fairly well, but we have lost quite a chunk of fertilizer across the middle of the field. Never mind, it doesn't really matter. We've got plenty of money left. We had $100 million. Actually, it's on euros at the moment, and kilometers. This is not very good. I must apologize. I've not had a huge amount of time to prepare for today's episode. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. And I have managed to prepare some things, but I haven't managed to prepare everything that I wanted to. My weekly question this week is just... It's a very simple question. I want to know how much longer you think I should stay on this map. I will do a poll on this one. Hang on, I need to move from here, and I want to get to the shop. I have sold all of those big bud tractors that we had, and we need to finish doing our turning, don't we? And that is what I prepared for today. I have gotten I should have changed one of those because I'm not actually using those. I've changed this one. I just got to remember not to actually use it whilst I'm in, when I go back to Garala. I've got to remember not to use it until I have edited it back to what it's supposed to be, because at the moment it's a little bit bigger than what it's supposed to be. So let's just take that one, and I did say that I would try to do this off camera, but then I decided against it. I thought, well, I'll just do it on camera. I can't see it's going to be any issue. We can get to see everything working on here, and we can also see if it will work, which way it works going sideways, because one way it's going to work and one way it's not going to work very well. At least that's what normally happens. So let's just lower that down and start it up, and we'll see if my changes, because I haven't even had time to test this. That's working just fine, and it's going quite nicely going this direction as well. See, I've got a nice wide piece on here. Only problem is that is now going to be putting it on the road, isn't it? We can live with that. There's a little bit that's been left behind there. I suspect we are going to end up leaving tiny bits, but hopefully it won't be too bad. And we're just going to have to slowly trundle our way up across here. Yes, it is leaving little tiny bits, but I'm hoping that because I've widened it quite considerably, it's going to kind of gather everything up and it's not going to continuously be a problem. I tried to overlap the piece right in the middle. That's worked alright. So yeah, how much longer do you think I should stay on this map? I'm definitely going to do the sugar beet harvest over there, and I'm definitely going to buy all the cows that we've spent all this time preparing for. Those two are definite, and I have already bought sheep. Now, I did say that I would buy pigs, but I'm starting to think that maybe we should, pigs could be like a focus on the next map. I don't want to have the series staying on the same map for too long. We've got other 4x maps that we can go to until such time as the Australian map that I've been telling you about is ready. And when that map is ready, then we can think about going to the 16 times Australian map. It's going to be epically awesome. I am really looking forward to being able to play that map. It is going to be absolutely sensational. Definitely got to be an unrealistic series. There's no way we're going to run a realistic series on there. So yeah, how many more weeks do you think I should stay on this one? Do you think I should stay here until the Australian one is ready, which could be another couple of months? Do you think I should be wrapping up this series in the next couple of weeks? So say another 6 episodes after this week. So including this week, it'd be 3 weeks. So yeah, we go either 2 weeks more after this week is finished to allow everybody to answer the question. Say 5-6 weeks. Actually, no. I'll tell you what. We'll run it for. We'll either do another 2 weeks and then we'll change maps, or we will wait until the Australian one comes out and we will move to the Australian one next. Or now here's the other option. I'm planning, as soon as the Platinum Edition DLC comes out, I'm going to be stopping Gorala and I'm going to be moving on to the Platinum Edition DLC. See, it's leaving a big chunk right there. And I have overlapped. I should have. I think maybe I should have overlapped them differently. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. So yeah, I'm going to be playing the Platinum Edition in place of Gorala as soon as the Platinum Edition comes out, and I've already said I'm going to do that. It's a solemn promise. I will be making sure that as soon as it comes out, Gorala is wrapped up, and we move on to there, and we can start doing our sugarcane. But how would you like me to, once we've stay on this one, on this map right here, until that comes out, and simultaneously run a realistic series on the new map and an unrealistic series? We could do an unrealistic series on that map using everything that we've kind of used, a lot of the stuff that we've built and made in this series here, and we can use that to run everything on the new map. That could actually be very interesting. You know, completely unrealistic sugarcane harvesting, everything. Now, the actual sugarcane harvesting itself, I'm not going to be able to modify the mods straight away, but fairly quickly I'm hoping sugarcane harvesters will come out for release from different mod makers and stuff. So we might be able to do something with it, and we can certainly get some other machines to do things with the other crops, and we can have a look around the map, and you know, we can prepare everything for the sugarcane, even if we can't actually do the sugarcane. So that's kind of my suggestion for you. My weekly question is, do you want me to stay on here for 2 more weeks after this week? So at the moment it would be 3 full weeks because we're just beginning this week. But yeah, after this week, do another 2 weeks. Or do you want me to stay on this map until the new DLC comes out and then play the new DLC? Or do you want me to stay on this map until the Australian one comes out and then switch over to the Australian map instead of this one, the 16 times map? It's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Now, I didn't speed this up. I had no intention of speeding this up. I thought that it would end up causing complications if I tried to. And we are now drifting sideways. I think we have drifted sideways far enough. So I'm going to just move back a little bit like that and try and straighten up. And I'm sure we were... Wasn't I just using the hired help to do that? I'm pressing H for the hired help, but it's not giving me an H. Okay, apparently we can't use the hired help for this. It's not going to have it. So I was actually suggesting that I could do this in like a single pass. I really don't like the fact that it's leaving a little tiny strip down the side. And unfortunately, as I said, today I was really pressed for time and I wasn't able to properly test. And this is one of those little things that happens when you can't properly test and you have issues with mods. Some things just go wrong. I mean, look at that. There's no reason that it should be leaving that bit behind. This is all to do with the bigger maps. This is issues with the bigger maps. And this is something that I don't like about playing bigger maps, as you get these issues. But at least the turner is working. Even if it's going redonkulously slow, it is still working. So we've at least got that bit to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this row. I'm going to get right down to the end, because we did do a fair bit with the big buds. And then I'm going to go and get the baler. Now I'm going to start this baling. I'm going to do small bales, and a lot of people have been suggesting I should get bigger bales, and I might do that for another episode. Either tomorrow or Saturday's episode, I might switch over and we'll use a bigger baler. And if I do that, then yep, that could be quite interesting. But I'm not too fussed about the size of the bales. I got to be honest, I'm not too fussed about the size of the bales. The thing that is really irritating me the most is the fact that it's leaving these little tiny bits, and that really does frustrate me. There's no reason that it should leave little tiny bits like that, right? Is there? There's no practical reason that it should do that. It's just doing it purely to irritate us. I'm sure of it. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this one carry on until we get to the end of the row. I'm also going to go and get another tractor and one of the bigger turners, and I'm just going to put it going with the hired help, just working up and down the field. It's not going to turn it properly, but it's at least going to be a start. And then I can get a baler up here as well, and we can make a start on baling up the hay. I had an awful lot of people getting really upset with me for selling the John Deere, and I thought that I had a front link and a weight and everything on the John Deere. You know, I could have sworn that we did. It's a 70-30. Oh, front loader attacher. Attacher, standard, and front link. We want front linkage, don't we? That's what we want. Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll go for rear twin wheels. Like that. And we will buy that one. Yes. And then we will come back out, and we will go and sell this one, because we want a front weight for that one. I'm thinking we will go for a minion weight. I love the minion weights, and they are quite light, but we're not going to need anything particularly heavy at the moment. So let's just skip out of here and sell that one. Yep. And then we go back into here and we go over to the weights and we get a minion weight. Now, there are people who would say that we're being unrealistic by using a minion weight. And as you know, this series is all about realism. We want to be as realistic as we possibly can, don't we? So, naturally, I did a bit of research. And the minion weight is as realistic as you can get. There are at least 2 farmers that use minion weights on their own tractors, one of whom actually builds these to order and sends them off all over I think it's all over the country. I don't think it's all around the world, but he's definitely he runs like an engineering firm on the side, I think. I'm sure it's a farmer that does it, unless it's an engineer that built it for a farmer and he builds a few others. But the minion weight is a real thing. Look it up. Minion, go to Google, minion front weight, and you will see this is a real thing. It is, because there were a load of people when these were first introduced, and a whole load of people saying, oh, that's absolutely awful. It's not realistic. We want some realism for Farming Simulator. Giants, you've gone too far. Well, it turns out that Giants hadn't gone too far at all. Turns out that it's completely, totally, 100% realistic and based on a real life situation, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I love the fact that there are farmers out there who like minions so much that they actually build and use their own minions in their own tractors. I think that is absolutely sensational. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one going up through here. I will press H. What do you mean unknown reason? There is no good reason for you stopping now. No good reason at all, but apparently there is a good reason, and I don't know what it is. So let me try moving over a little bit, like that, and unknown reason. I can't think of a single reason for him to stop. Okay, we'll leave a little strip, and we'll try again, because this is the field. We're in the field, so we come up here. This one should go without any problems. Down through here, start, and H. Help a G has stopped. Unknown reason. Nobody knows why. There isn't a reason. It was working just fine. We could do this with the big buds. The big buds did it. They did it with the hired help. Unknown reason, unknown reason, unknown reason. Why are you screaming unknown reason at me? Turn on, higher header, lower. I wonder if it's the tractor. I don't think it's the tractor. I cannot think for any reason that the tractor would be the cause of it. But just in case, what we'll do is let's go back up to the other end of the field, and I will bring a big bud back in here because I know that the big bud works. The big bud worked perfectly. We had them following each other down across the field. They did everything absolutely spot on, exactly as they should. So let's just stop that one there, and we will get a big bud. And I want to get started with the baling today. I might actually just skip all of this in a minute. We will see. If this big bud doesn't work, we're going to go for triple wheels. We'll get exactly the same as we did last time. There we go. Your selection is being purchased. Okay, and back out of there, and again. Right, I want to go that way. Get the big bud. And make the screen bigger. And then we go and we drop that one down up there like that. There we go. I love this mod. The mod that jumps you around like this. It's absolutely sensational. Right, let's unhitch that one. Move you out of the way. And quite possibly, it might be the twin wheels, you know. It could easily be those twin wheels. It's not the minion weight. I know that it's not the minion weight because I've used the minion weight quite a few times on other things and it's never been an issue. So I can't, unless there's some conflict between the minion weight and the hay turner, I can't imagine it would be that either. I've sold the other turner, the one that I modified and wasn't quite working properly, so it's not going to be that either. It's not going to have sort of caused issues anywhere. Let's start this one up and just turn a little bit here on the edge. Through the mud. There we go. Even the big bud struggles a little bit through the mud. Not a lot, but it does struggle a little tiny bit. And up through there. Now, is it going to give me unknown reason or is it going to keep going? It's keeping going. Right, there's something wrong with that John Deere. It might be the twin wheels. That might be what has caused it. And, yeah, so we'll work with that another time. We don't need to worry about it now. I'm just going to leave this big bud to carry on and do some work. And I want this one now. We're going to use the baler on this machine. So we want to make the map bigger. And we want to go over to the cattle yard. Let's drop down here. There. Right. Our baler is currently hitched onto the Challenger, which is in this shed in here. So let's go and get this one a minute. And I want you. I'll bring the tractor out of the shed with the baler. I've modified this baler a little bit more than I had it last time. I'm hoping that this is going to work well. We've got straw on there at the moment. So let's just move this Challenger over here because the Challenger doesn't have any alterations to it whatsoever. And I'm thinking that this particular job is going to require a few alterations. So let's just jump back into here. Spin round and get onto this baler. Have I unfolded? I think it's already unfolded. So it's unfolded and ready to go. Yes, it is. Fold it back up again. Like that. Because when you jump it around, it does... it deposits it in the folded up form rather than the unfolded form. Right. Excellent. There we go. And I have noticed that you get quite a bit of lag sort of initiate when you first do it. When you first drop something down. And I don't really want that. I'm worried that it might accidentally crash the map or something. Now, I can't remember exactly how wide I set all of this, so we'll start it up here and we'll see how close it's going to get. Right, we do have quite a wide area of pickup, but we do have to make sure it stays all in one sort of on one side of the tractor. I also have a reasonable turn of speed, so we can cover this ground reasonably quickly. We can come racing down through here. This is why I wasn't going to bother actually raking it up, but I did get a really good suggestion from someone, and it was liked a number of times by a number of people. I can't remember who it was, and I do apologise. I really should start writing down your names when you're making all of these awesome suggestions, because then I could actually mention you by name in the videos. But yes, this person suggested that we get some rakes and we run them in succession, not just the ones that move it to one side. And I'm thinking, now I was originally looking at the rakes. If we go to Windrowers here, and It was... No, it wasn't even one of those. Might have been the Pottinger one. I don't think it was. I think it's the one that's here ended up under miscellaneous. And that one there, the SIP one. Now, I thought that would actually end up taking too long, so I've decided against using that one. And I've also decided against using the rotary one, which is that Pottinger one. But I do think that we could either use the Mergimax there, the Coon, or we could use the Rock. One or the other. I'll probably use... I can't change that one. I can't make any alterations to that one. I could make that one a little bit wider. We'll have a play around, but I think actually, considering all the different options, I don't really want to play around with these mods. It's not something that I want to get involved with. So what I might do is I might just use that one. And what we do is we can use 10 hired help, so we use 10 of them all in a row and set them off down across the field, one behind the other. Not quite, but one behind the other, but staggered. So instead of using the hired help, we're using a follow me mod. And that is rolling it all out to the side. And of course the stack's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we'll see just how much we can get of just how much hay and everything that we can get all in one big long line. But in order to do that properly, I need to have all the hay turned first. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bale up a little bit of this around the edge, and I'm going to go down this way here. It is picking up that grass. And what just happened there? There's a collision of some sort there. I'm not quite sure what that is. But anyway, the hay turner is now going back the other way, and it doesn't look like it's actually turning anything at all. So let's just quickly cycle through. Ooh, we've actually got a patch, an interesting patch. Wasn't that amazing? When you're doing a job like this in a tractor and it's just like this mind-numbing endless thing, you see like that bit of straw over there and you'll see it and you'll think, oh, I'll be able to go over that soon. And you look forward to it for an hour, and it's like the highlight of your whole 4 hours is being able to just see that bit go into the cultivator. Yes, it is as bad as that. Some of those jobs in the tractors, it's great fun to start with, but it does get that monotonous and dull and painful to do. It is. It's absolutely painful. It's not something that you want to do too much of. Right, it really doesn't work at all going this way, does it? It's actually raking it, it's just not spreading it out again. And that is the joy of the 4x maps. I really hope that they fix these for the next iteration of this game. So, might be better if we just don't bother doing this with the big bud at all. I mean, I'll leave it going and it could do a little bit. I need to fix the other one. I mean, it's even left a strip there, so... None of this is particularly great. We do have patches left all over the place. So let's skip back through here. We want to go back to this one and start you up again. Right. We will keep driving down this way, and then we're going to go along the road for the next bit. See, it's gathering up the grass, and what it does is it gets both grass and hay, and then kind of swaps between the two in the bale. And all you want is what you don't want is you don't want the bale to finish with a little tiny bit of grass. So you just got to watch it, and you could bale up as much grass as you like. And then when you get to like 90,000 litres of grass, you then go over to the hay bit and you bale that up instead. And then you end up with a bale of hay. All neat, tidy, and tidy and neat. Job done. Right. There's that bit there. So now I'm going to swing round here. And we're going to go up the road, and we're not hugely wide on this, so I'm just going to actually stick to, well, mostly to the road if I can. Go up here. It does pick it all up. There's no problems here picking it up. We don't have any kind of issues with it leaving bits behind because of the speed we're traveling. It's doing a really neat job of this. And I'm actually really pleased about this, as it has left a little strip over there. We need to be over more than I originally thought we did. There we go, that's much better. Bring it down through there like that, and now we can swing round. That last little bit I'm not too concerned about, because it's not going to have a massive amount of feed value on it. So if I go along like that... Most of it now, actually, I'll tell you what, we could just go back here and we can tidy this little bit up so we can get all of it. Because there's some more over by the fence over here, which means that we've got to do another trip down through here anyway. And by doing this, we can gather everything up. And that is my timer to say that I have almost run out of time. So I apologise that this episode wasn't quite as prepared as I had hoped. Unfortunately, sometimes we're not able to get everything ready as efficiently as we would like, and it does mean that, yeah, things don't quite run as smoothly as we hoped. But in our next episode, we will be able to finish doing the turning, and I would also very much like to, because I'm going to make that turner, I might not even use that turner, I might use a different one which can go even wider than that one, but keep it all in, like keep it smooth in one line rather than having lots of separate bits. That's why I'm going to use one of those smaller ones. And then this, I'll make it way wider so that we can sort of do most of the map. And then we're going to actually try doing the raking thing, where we run a whole load of rakes one after the other so that we can really play around with the turning. Once we've done the turning, and we'll do a little bit more baling hopefully in tomorrow's episode as well, although there's no guarantee on that. We might not be able to actually get to doing any more baling. Might have to be the following episode. It doesn't really matter all that much because we are going to get the baling done. The baling will be finished. We will be able to get all of the baling done that we want done, and we will get the hay back to the yard ready for the cows. But the next big thing that we need to be doing is we actually want to be buying the cows themselves. And that is kind of a really big thing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop 2 bales right here. So if I turn that one off, I can then just empty out. And we've got 2 bales here, 100,000 litres each. And then we can go and start doing some more baling. So I'm going to do another sweep along the bottom end of this field so that we gather up all of the bit that's sort of sticking out over the end. And then we can try the technique of just gathering a bit of grass instead of gathering hay, so that we can like fill the baler up a little bit quicker. And well, it's not that it's quicker, it's just it'll make a difference. Whoa. This tractor really doesn't like the mud, does it? I know that we've got this massive power on this baler now, but it really doesn't like the mud. So yes, we are going to try baling up some of the grass, and that will save us having to turn the entire field. And so long as, like I said before, if you get the last little bit as hay rather than grass, the entire bale will be classed as hay. It's one little sort of quirk of this whole game that I particularly like. Nice little touch, and it does make life a lot easier for everybody involved. So if we just nip along here a minute, there we go. So yes, my weekly question. Do you want me to keep playing on this map until this 16 times Australian map is fully ready for release, and then go straight from here and start playing on the Australian 16 times map? Would you rather I stayed on this map for another couple of months, which is how long it's going to take before the new DLC comes out for Farming Simulator? That is the Platinum DLC, the one with the sugarcane all down in South America. Now, I can do that. It's a different map. It's completely different, a different situation and everything. We are absolutely, completely stuck. This tractor is useless. It really is. Right, let's try turning that off a second. Okay, we're going to have to just... this is brilliant. This tractor is absolutely useless when it comes to trying to go anywhere or do anything like this. If we make it a little bit bigger, we only need to move just a tiny bit. Let's just move it back to this corner over here. There we go. And spin it up out of the ground. And we can start again. Right. But yes, I need to unfold it again now. Is it unfolding? I got a bad feeling about this. You first need to unfold. I am unfolding. This is why I don't like to do it when it's not hitched on. The baler's broke. I broke the baler! Oh no. Now if I go to this one and it's not letting me change anything. Y is unload baler, is lower pickup. We can't... Oh, it's because the baler's loaded and it doesn't like it. So we have to unload the baler. Now it should allow us to do it. I said unload baler. I got a feeling that we've lost a bale of hay by doing that move. Unless it left it behind over there. I'm hopeful. Maybe it just left it in the mud. We'll have to go and have a look in a second. So let's just turn that one off. And we can start the baler up again. There we go. Right. Yes, there's the bale. Right, that's okay. Problem solved. Whoop. It's a little bit fast. Yeah, so what we're going to do is... Do you want me to... Just want to pick you up and move you up here. We'll put you on the edge of the road. And then hopefully we don't forget that you're there. So, yeah, do you want me to... One of the... Either wait for the Australian map to come out and then play on the Australian map next, or I can wait for the new DLC, the Platinum DLC, and we go and whilst we do a realistic series down in South America, we could also at the same time run an unrealistic series like we're doing here on the South American map. It'll be a little bit different than this because it's a smaller map, because it's a standard size map rather than the 4 times. So we will be doing things quite a bit differently if we do decide to do that. However, it will still be as unrealistic as this one is. I will still be chopping and changing mods. I will be trying all kinds of crazy things. I see no reason for us to stop that whatsoever. I'm having a lot of fun making this series, and I fully intend to keep an unrealistic series on this channel now because I'm having so much fun doing it. Whoop, steady. So yeah. Or I can just stay on this map for another couple of weeks and then find another 4 times map and move to that one. It will probably be the other one that is on Modhub, which is the Iberian Southlands. And I did take a look at that one and look at doing a realistic series on there. And I'm quite glad that we didn't because it is a really big map. Obviously, well, it's 4 times map. So because of the size of it, I don't think that a realistic series would work very well. It would end up being a little bit too dull. So, yeah, it's your vote. It's your game. Head in the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And, of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. Do you want a new map in a couple of weeks? Do you want me to wait until DLC comes out and start playing the DLC? Or do you want me to wait until the Australian 16 times map comes out and start playing that one? Now then, I don't think we're going to do any more baling today. I'll do a little bit more just so we can complete this bale and we'll take it down and unload it. This turning does seem to be a complete and utter waste of time. So we'll probably give that one up as well. And wait until I get the turner sorted out for next episode and get it done properly this time. So, yeah, I just want to make sure that we've got this right, don't I? Start there. There. And now it's turned into hay. So we've got the entire bale as hay as we come back down through for the last bit. So we will do that last little bit of turning in the next episode. And then we're going to try the whole raking thing. If we've got enough hay here and it's all done properly, we should be able to go through and we should be able to rake the whole lot over and over and over, and that I think is going to be really interesting, especially if we can get the whole field done. If we can get the whole field turned, what that'll mean is that we could just put the follow me on with like 10 tractors and we just go round in a great big circle, and we are going to have to go slow, aren't we? Unless I am going to try to tweak one. I'm going to try and tweak one so that we can go a little bit faster. Maybe a bit wider, I'm not quite sure about that. Probably not. We'll probably stick it to the same width, but being able to go a little bit faster would at least make it a little bit more interesting, because this field is absolutely huge. But anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.